All that you need within your life is inside of you. That is too poetic, isn't it? All that you need in life is to allow your inner light to flourish. Just feel this within your belly. Inside of your abdominal area, there is light. Your solar plexus, your solar energies. Imagine you let this light radiate and blossom. By doing so, you won't have interest in caring what other people think of you, because you'll feel too radiant within yourself. You'll have no language of being good enough or not good enough, right or wrong. You'll feel too positive within yourself. You won't try to hold on to senseless objects or disturbing relationships, because you won't live in that level of codependency and neediness. You won't try to control others to be a certain way so that you can feel a certain way. You already have the feeling. This is a sovereign being. You won't be able to be controlled by external authorities, limiting you, telling you what you can or cannot do unless you follow this or that. Because you won't care. Because your life is not based upon the external. Your life is based upon the spirit within you. You won't adhere to any organization's principles, be it religious or otherwise, that limits your capacity to live in peace. You won't live by other people's rules, regulations, and dogma. You'll listen to the spirit within you, which is the God that dwells inside of you. You recognize that everything that occurs within your life is a blessing, because focusing on it in this way allows your life to flow. If you can simply live that last sentence, you're free. If you can see that every situation in your life is for your greatest good, is a blessing, whether it's a relationship that's been extinguished, an object that has been lost, a situation which is no longer in your life that you've been holding on to, whatever it may be, it's a blessing. Everything in your life is for your greatest good. Imagine that. Now you can flow. In argument with another, if somebody's angry at you, there's a blessing in this. There's something to be reaped from this. You don't have to try to make everybody happy anymore to avoid conflict. Conflict is part of life, but not inside of you. Conflict that surrounds you is going to exist. Now you're living in the flow. You're flowing with life. That's the answer to life, dear ones. It's flowing. You're going to have moments of anger, disappointment, jealousy, envy, regret, guilt, resentments. But you're not going to engage in them anymore. That game is over. You're going to have fear and doubt and worry and anxiety, but you're not going to engage in it. Observe and refocus. Soften. Soften, soften into the beauty of the infinite field. And this is the game of life. The game of life, can you choose the light over your resistance? That's the game of life. Can you choose the light over your resistance? That's the game of life. As you live in the flow, you will recognize you're going to be guided every moment. This is living in grace. The guidance is subtle. Sometimes it can be more obvious, but most of the time it's quite subtle. A subtle feeling or an inclination. And as you live in this way, you're living in your highest intelligence, and you are no longer prey to the mind control that surrounds you. You're no longer feeling apprehensive if everybody has a view and your view is different, because you're not living from cognition. You're living from your higher mind. That's dimension 5 living. And that's what they're trying to stop the populace from doing, because they can't be controlled in that consciousness. The great friend of light came thousands of years ago to try to liberate the populace from this. From rules, regulations, dogma, just live in love. Just live in love. And that vibration was a seed. And that seed right now is beginning to blossom. You can feel the chills as I speak these words, because life is a process. The great friend came to share that seed of truth. And that seed is blossoming. It's blossoming inside of you right now. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening. Because instinctually, you know what is truth. We're not just sitting in meditation to support a ritual. Sitting in meditation to be filled with light, for our energy centers to be accentuated, nourished, nurtured, and to recognize this is how we want to live. We want to live in the light. We don't want to live in our traumatized, constricted, and compromised state of consciousness of personality ego, which has ultimately been contrived by the external. Since your development of your earliest years, your mind has been put into a state of control. But you cannot control the spirit inside of you, because it has no interest in the external, because it lives in the light. And that's the game of life. Be a liberated soul. Flow. Don't judge, don't judge. Don't judge the world, no matter how absurd it is, and it's going to get much more absurd, I promise you this. Don't judge it, don't fight it. Don't try to convince anybody of your perspective. Just observe it from a place of peace and compassion. And know that nothing can harm you because you're in the flow. You see, you're choosing to vibrate in a higher and higher frequency. That's why you meditate, to recondition the many layers of your consciousness into a higher vibration, to live in a state of grace, to live in what is called beauty. Because beauty is a vibration, it has nothing to do with physical aesthetics. Beauty is a vibration. And that is living in truth. And so we choose the light as we are right now. The peace, the serenity, the balance, the quiet, the stillness, the harmony. And you relax into that as the great light touches you. And what is an eclipse? Indeed, as many of you know, the phases of the moon, the pull of its force, pulls upon the flow of water. You are mostly water. Your emotional body represents the element of water. When your emotional body is balanced or harmonious, the full moon has little effect upon you. If your emotional body has some compromise, you will feel the full moon, of course, because your inner waters are being pulled, touched. And an eclipse simply magnifies this. In a sense, your emotional body is being clipped, if you will. But the full moon is an opportunity of purification. Just as the female has their purification each month of menstrual, the full moon is there to cleanse and to clear the human being and truly all aspects of creation. And so if there's something to be purified, let it flow, let it go. Don't identify with it or hold on. You can even use the visual of seeing your hands, letting go, releasing. Hold on to nothing. Just appreciate what you have and allow more to come in, and then let that go. Because life is a circle. Every loss will bring a gain, and every gain will bring a loss. But it's not bad. The rain falls, the field is filled, it's flooded, the sun comes, the water evaporates, the cloud is formed, it rains again. That's the circle. That's called flow. How beautiful that is it not? Let your life be such a flow, and you will have no fear, no doubt, and no worry. For as you live in this flow, you're living in absolute harmony. It's a feeling, it's a vibration, it's not a concept. And that's the destination of life. It's living in a specific vibration, which is a specific feeling. You can call that love, lightness of being. But what allows you to live in that is an extraordinary level of softness. As you live in softness, you allow everything to flow through you, everything around you to exist. There's no resistance. And you take action, and your action has no aggression in it. No push, no pull. Feel these words. Softness, gentleness, ease, harmony, flow. The reason it's challenging to live in these simple perspectives is you've been taught the contrast. Push, pull, rush, hurry, make it happen. Even this idea, manifest this, manifest that. How about allow? How about listen? How about relax? How about soften? Flow with the river of life. Because the river of life vibrates in love. And as you flow with the river of life, it will take you to that which serves you in the highest way. Let go of procrastination. Feel and act in a relaxed fashion. Your meditation is a relaxed experience. Let's go into meditation, as you call it. We relax. We feel any residual static within or around us. And we allow ourselves to soften through that static, through that energetic noise or congestion. Now let the great light touch you.